Hey guys, we are having a pillow talk here. Take me as I am right now. I've been having some really long days because I've just been really busy. But I told myself earlier that I would go live on the channel at some point today. So here I am towards the very end of my day, going live. So you guys see the title of the live chat, which is examining what do you know? And that's really important to think about, especially as we're healing from narcissistic abuse, right? Because what you know or what you feel you know is going to really determine how you're leading your life, right? So when I ask you that question as far as what do you know, I mean from the standpoint of what do you know about your worth, basically? Do you know that? What do you know about your worth? What do you know about what you deserve, basically? Hey, Dancer. So that's what I'm talking about, because I feel like the more confident you are in knowing those things, the less you're going to need to hold on to things that don't serve you. You know what I'm saying? If I know I'm worthy of something, if I know it's going to come to me, whether it's through you or someone else, I don't need to hold on to you. So what do you know? That really is a relevant question, guys. Because I think is when we have that insecurity, is the unknowing, right? Not being secure in that. And that's what makes us hold on to those toxic relationships. Okay? So, I want to challenge you guys to really think about what you know and what your confidence level is behind that knowing. Okay, this isn't about do you know everything from A to Z about narcissistic abuse and, things that are external. What do you know within yourself and how confident are you in that knowing? Okay, because when you really do know what your worth is, you're going to let go of these toxic things, guys. And it becomes so easy when you have that confidence behind it. Because you'll be able to rationalize, it's just not with you. It's that simple. It's not with you. So, hello, child of God. Hi, the way that you spell your username is kind of... Dancer says, no, I know nothing but in myself. Ain't no going back. Bye, Felicia. Believe that. No, I know nothing but in myself. Okay. I think I got you a little bit, Dancer. You're not going to go back, so that's good. But you're saying you don't know anything? You know something. You know something, Dancer. But yes, bye, Felicia, to all narcissists. They are not coming back. So yeah, okay, yeah, there's the time up there. I just felt inclined to put this message out, guys. But yet we really need to know. And I do feel like, with that knowing, it makes letting go very easy. The detachment that needs to occur. Dancer says, that means yes, I know. Okay, sorry. Still delusional. What? What are you talking about, girl? What are you talking about? Tra says last name Davis. Okay. Got you. Gotcha. Okay, I got you. So yeah, we have to know things, survivors. We have to know. All right? And if you don't know it, you want to come to a place of knowing. All right? And then, once you know it, just really receive that, because that's really what it is receiving it. Just Be Real says, I know that I'm going to therapy over this. Yeah. I highly recommend it if you've, experienced narcissistic abuse, that you get some form of therapy. I mean, the YouTube videos, they're very helpful, and it is a large community with a lot of information, and it will help you to a certain extent. But, personalized therapy definitely took my healing to another level. And I do offer coaching, guys, in this realm, because most mainstream therapists, they really don't understand narcissistic abuse. Okay, they really don't. So find someone in the community, whether it's through me or someone else, where you can get that, get the coaching. All right. And that can be booked on my website. I just updated it yesterday. I put some videos up earlier to discuss that in the announcements for the channel. But I kind of like streamlined my website now. You can go on there and book coaching. You can go on there and find everything. The books that I talk about at the end of most of the videos. And I actually made some No Narc Zone merchandise. What I have up there is some black t-shirts and white t-shirts, really cute stuff. You guys are always welcome to check that out. Just go to LakiaCrawford.com. That link should be under like every video, really. And it'll be under this one once it like uploads. Okay? David says it's scary because everyone around me are narcs. I agree. I'm going back to therapy. Yeah. Yeah. But it's also, it's a detachment that needs to occur, because a lot of people don't detach the way that they need to in these situations. A narcissist is going to be a narcissist. We have to stop taking their behaviors personally. Okay, guys? We have to stop doing that. We're taking their behaviors personally, and that's causing a lot of additional pain. And I know psychologically, when we're dealing with someone on a personal level and we feel like we've experienced intimacy with them, basically, it's hard for us to detach and separate, because we're basically meshing with someone, and forming these bonds. But they're still a separate individual, guys. And what they're doing is not personal. They're going to do this to the next person, and everybody, all the primary sources are going to get treated that way. But we stay in our pain a lot longer when we're unable to make that rationalization, and we're taking it so personal. How could they do this to me? It's the detachment that that really has to occur to help you along the way. Dancer says, mines do, thank God, but once a month, I ain't feeling it. Gonna find someone else. She was with a narc. What's the best way to do what? To detach? Just Be Real? Oh, okay, I got you, Dancer. I was like, oh, I got you, Dancer. Just Be Real said, what's the best way to do it? To detach? That's a perception thing with detaching. That's a perception. Yeah, you're going to have to, you want to work on your perceptions at that point. Just Be Real. Because life is so mental. It really is. If you're taking it as a personal jab, instead of saying, okay, this is a narcissist, this person has issues, they have set mannerisms, they have cycles of abuse, this is what they're going to do to anyone. It becomes a lot less personal, or it should, in your logical mind. Hassan said, you look so depressed. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's not depressed. Maybe I look tired. Gosh, trying to make me look, trying to shame me for not powdering my face. He said, "You look depressed." Sweetie, trust me, I'm not depressed. I just have a very full life. So that might be a troll there, guys. Tell her, dancer, I'm not depressed. Might be a troll. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you like. 7 says, oh my God, I thought I was detaching. And today, before I left work, I started to think about her and started crying. I could not believe it. I was by myself and screamed, God, why? I loved her so much. Well, it doesn't mean, hold on, my neck is kind of feeling tight here. Ferguson, you may not be completely detached. I mean, you don't forget the experience. It doesn't mean that you haven't started the process of detaching. You know, you got to look at your own progress. You may have cried about it every day, and maybe now it's once in a while. That is still a form of detachment and healing taking place, you know. But what I would say to you guys is narcissistic abuse is a trauma. So, you know, it takes time, and it's something that you never forget. Something that you never forget. And there can be triggers. You know, sometimes when you go through a traumatic experience, you typically might find that you have a trigger. And this could be something that reminds you of the situation, or, you know, but it could be managed down usually, and even getting it to the point where it could, you know, not be a trigger anymore. And that's a perception thing as well. But, you know, it's all right to cry, like Dancer said, is letting out the emotions. And that can help you in your detachment, you know, when you're acknowledging things and releasing things. Basically, you're releasing at that point. So, Just Be Real said, is it okay if they are ill? I feel guilty. Is it okay to detach? Sure. Sure. You don't have to stick around because they're sick, you know. That's like being the sacrificial lamb. It's kind of like, you know, this person abused me all my life and now they're on their deathbed. Oh, I got to go be their nurse. No, you don't owe them anything. I think you have to be sincere with yourself. Just be real. I mean, if the person is a narcissist and they're a toxic, you know, person in your life, you have a right to cut them off, whether they're well or not. You know, they're ill, even if it's not, you know, cancer, they're still ill either way you're looking at it. They're sick. Dancer says, if mines wanted water, I would pour it out on the ground. Ooh. Right. Well, you know, I'm sure that all survivors feel like they've given the narcissist enough, you know. You don't owe them anything. Just Be Real says she treated me like crap and now I feel bad, but I'm not stressing and dying with her. Right. Right. And that you feeling bad, it sounds like, you know, possibly something psychological with you, you know. A lot of times we're, especially in our childhood, if you were abused, then you may have been trained to love your abuser. So it's kind of something that you may have been used to doing. I don't know if that's relevant in your situation, but, you know, just like the little study they made on like some ducks. They kept stepping on the duck's foot and it wouldn't leave, even though it was being caused all this abuse. So they've done a lot of studies on that. Right. Right. Okay. Well, at least you know that about yourself. Just be real. If you have the abandonment issues, that's going to make you hold on to things, even the ones that don't serve you. Crystal said, I'm just exhausted. It's been 3 months. I'm still in this bubble. What do you mean by that? Are you still with the narcissist, Crystal, or 3 months of no contact and you're healing? Not sure what you mean by the bubble or what it's been 3 months from. So if you could clarify that. So, and for all of you that are coming in now and you see the title of the video, and I'm just talking about what do you know? And I feel like, a lot of survivors weren't standing in the strength of knowing something positive and healthy and good in their life when they were in the midst of tolerating, basically the abuse from the narcissist. Amelia said, is it normal to have anxiety if you see your narcissist after I walked away? It's been 3 months for me as well. Yeah, it is normal to have anxiety. It's very normal because, like I said, it's a trauma. Usually these people have abused you on almost every level in most cases, especially with the romantic dealings. So yes, anxiety is true. Yeah, your essence knows that that person violated you. It knows. So yes, you might feel an anxiety because that energy is coming near you again and you were soul raped. These people, they do a lot. They do a lot. Even in a little bit of time, they do a lot. It's horrible. Just Be Real said, I was with her for 10 years. Oh my God, but I'm running away. Yeah. Sometimes it takes time to see it. And, along the lines of anxiety, people have had panic attacks or, PTSD. Yeah. It's abuse. So, yes. Crystal said, no, I was discarded physically. And I'm in this blame game, but blaming myself for being stupid for staying so long. Right. So, Crystal, that's just speaking to you not having forgiveness. And, that could be for a lot of reasons. Often we're the hardest on ourselves and we don't allow ourselves to be human. And, usually we do better when we know better. But, there'll be some things that you'll reflect on about yourself, Crystal, where you can see where you were acting out of some of your brokenness and some of your ignorance. You just didn't know. You didn't see it. You didn't realize it, or you were in denial about some things. But, the main thing is beating yourself up against the head doesn't change your past. It doesn't. But what it does do is affect your present. It affects your present and then it can affect your future, right? Because you're dragging the past with you that you can't even change. The best thing you could do is take your lessons from that situation and, let yourself be elevated from that, Crystal. Because beating yourself up against the head is just going to make you feel worse. And you already have enough to mend and heal from, just healing from what the narcissist did. So now you would be actively joining in and, causing more injury to yourself by doing that. you know, forgiveness, forgiving yourself and the situation is going to set you free ultimately, because now you're dragging that energy with you, and when you're in that realm of thinking, it's just really negative. So at that point, it's going to be more challenging for positive things to be flowing through you. And you want to make a shift out of the dark energy from the narcissist. So you want to stay down there with them because they were already verbally abusing you, chances are, and putting you down. So you're actually still in that energy, that toxic energy, or you're close to it, you know, you're next door to it. And we want to break away from that. And that's why we need to stop. All right. Just Be Real says, how long does it take to get over it? You know what? That is going to be situational, and it's going to depend on your process, you know, the way that you're approaching the healing. If you spend a decade of your life wallowing in it, woe is me, and not really actively pursuing your healing, or as opposed to someone else who goes and they're rolling up their sleeves, they really see what they can, you know, find out about themselves, heal within themselves, get any therapy that they can, and, you know, they're focused on forgiveness and letting go and moving on. You know, they'll be a lot quicker, but they say that typically 18 months to 2 years. I know that sounds like a lot, but, you know, it's a process. It's a process. It doesn't mean it has to take that long for you to be smiling, but, you know, to get to a certain space with it, typically speaking, it's a process. He says, I think I have that. What, the post-traumatic stress disorder? It's possible. It's possible. Dancer says, I know you're going to say something about me saying about the water, but we're going to leave it for the next coaching session. Well, the only thing I'm going to say about that, Dancer, is I feel the sting behind that. So the aggression, I could feel that. Amelia Chapman said, thank you. Are you saying thank you to me? Well, you're welcome. Just Be Real said, how long do you recommend before trying to meet new people time-wise? Again, that's going to be situational as well, and depending on what you're looking for. Now, do I recommend rebounding? I absolutely do not. I don't recommend the rebounding with people. I think it's good and healthy to allow space in between. Personally, I know I took like 18 months before I did it, and before I dated, and you know, I really took my time. You know, everybody's not gonna wanna, but a year, most people end up taking like a year, and that sounds like a lot to someone maybe right now, but a lot of people do. It goes by quick. But I waited. I waited for my body and, you know, and my emotions to naturally want to be in that realm again. One day I was working and I was like, I was feeling more social. I wanted to engage. So I did. So I let myself be that clock to let me know. It wasn't someone pushing me in the corner. Oh, 18 months, girl, you better get back out there. No, I naturally let myself tell me when I felt like I wanted to do it, you know. And that's what I did for me. Now, there's other ends of the spectrum where people really put a wall up and they become hermits. And then, you know, of course, they're isolating themselves. But some people really have a lot of shadow work to do within themselves and they need that time. And that's on the other end of the spectrum. So it's determining what your motives are. Or you feel like, you know what, I'm still working on myself. Or I hate people and I'm running for my life. Like, you know, you let the narcissist or that experience deter you from, you know, something that could be good, and you block out the good and the bad at the same time, you know. So it's really just determining, you know, your motives for not being as interactive with people, or, focusing on yourself more. Tree Stay says, I was in this illusion for the last 2 years. It came to an end on August 10th. He made up something to fight me in front of my granddaughter, spit in my face, stole a car in my name, stole jewelry and personal info. Yeah. I've heard some really bad stories, honestly. And I was going to make a video about another topic that's really devastating with them. But yeah, it's an illusion. You got that right, Tree Stay. And, the spit in your face, though, that's horrible. I'm sorry that you experienced that. But they're definitely thieves. They're figuratively thieves, as they're stealing people's emotions, time, and energy. And then literally with the resources, and just reading that, stole the car, the jewelry, personal info, it just reminded me of some situations that I heard of, because I hear all types of stories, guys, of narcissists leaving in the middle of the night. Like, they have no shame, and then taking things that belong to you, not just their stuff, just whatever they want, because they're entitled. Like, I heard one situation where the narcissist did this to this person like 3 times. So she went through the cycle of abuse many times with this person, but 3 times just left and stole everything he could steal while she was at work or away from the house. It was crazy. That's why I always tell people, don't put nothing past them. They have no low. And in any given moment, they're only caring about what they want for themselves, their own agenda. Trust me on that. I don't care if it's in regards to them and their children, or someone you would think they would never do this. Look, it's always them first. I don't care if it's a baby, an infant, a helpless baby. The narcissist is going to do what's best for them. They will sacrifice that child. So, it's hard to wrap your minds for some of you, even though you even experienced it, but always keep that in your mind. Just Be Real said, I need to do the work. Okay, yeah. Linda says, after 8 months, no contact, he left me a message. At first, I felt anxious, but after a few days, I reminded myself that it wasn't my fault. I responded that I was only going forward, not looking back. Okay. That's fine, Linda. And then you don't even have to say anything, But yeah, they will throw a message out there to see what your temperature is for them, meaning, they gave you that 8 months to cool down, and maybe you'll just romanticize the relationships, because sometimes when we're far removed from it, or far enough, it doesn't sting as much, we simmer down, and they hope that you do that, and then they can hoover you. Someone's calling me. Hold on. All right. 3C says he threatened to kill me so bad. Oh, so she had to get it EPL, and he is still calling and stalking. I went to therapy. I thank God for people like you, so thankful for the help and encouragement. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you took the, proper legal steps, because a lot of times we don't create those paper trails with narcissists. Most of the time when we go through these horrible things, we're just so happy to get out of it, So, and we just move on. But, sometimes you really have to create that paper trail, and it gets that serious. A lot of people have domestic violence and, like you said, a death threat. So, yeah, just, stay on alert. Just Be Real says, yes, we do appreciate you. Aw. Dancer says, yeah, I know a side apology. Yeah. Amelia says, yes, I asked about having anxiety. Oh, okay. Just Be Real says, I'm 6 months in. Okay. But the no contact has only been a month. Okay. Yeah, so you're fresh. A month is not a lot of time for no contact. Linda says, I feel that I look at others differently in their intentions. It feels good to work on me. Yes. Yeah. I always talk about seeing angles. I make quite a few videos about that. And, it doesn't make you a negative Nancy. It's just a protection. And I feel like all survivors, you guys have been through enough. So we have to open our minds and see angles. And that doesn't mean accusing someone of something. It just means considering motives and intentions, What is the best case scenario, the worst case scenario, everything in between that you can think of, because being blindsided really sucks. And I feel like most of us were blindsided by the narcissist, at least at some point. And, that's a devastation. That's how people get devastated because they're putting things past other people. If it at least crossed my mind, I'm not going to be blindsided. So that's all that really is, opening your mind up and seeing angles. Just Be Real says, I want comfort, but not attracting another narc. Yeah. So, once we understand narcissists and how they move around, we can lower the chances dramatically. Now, there's some that are higher up the scale that may be more sophisticated, if you will, in their approach, and that might be like the psychopaths. They might be a little more craftier. So, but a narcissist that's not a psychopath, they'll be pretty much textbook, wanting to rush a relationship beyond your comfort. Tracy says he's calling now and has 10 times today, and he don't care about no contact, right? They think they're above the law, They think they're above the law. Just Be Real says, I look at everyone like this. With a side eye. Well, it's nothing wrong with having an air of caution. You've been through so much. When you've been through that, you've earned the right to be careful. There's nothing wrong with being careful. Paranoid, no. Living your life in fear, no. Careful, yes. Cautious, yes. Thoughtfulness, yes. But I don't want you to feel like you have to have anxiety, Vicious says, do you think it's common for people that engage in relationships with narcissists to have grown up with someone close, maybe a parent that they love, that is either a narc or has mental health issues? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because usually there's a codependency there. Yeah. Yeah. Children that experience childhood abuse are more likely to, replay that in their adult relationships if, steps weren't taken to mend or to heal it. those childhood wounds, yes. It's highly, highly likely that one of the primary caretakers um, was a narcissist. All right. Linda says, you see some of the narc in people. There's a difference when it's real empathy or fake. Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Narcissists, they aren't, the covert ones are a little better at pretending to have empathy. But I don't know. When I look in their eyes, I just see an empty shell, like it's something missing, you know? Just Be Real says he dated a psycho, but he broke up with me. So yeah. Yeah. They know. They know who they'll fill people out to see if they could prime them for the primary source. So, you know, it's good for you. There's something strong about you and healthy about you that perhaps that person felt like, I'm not going to be able to play these games with them. Just Be Real said, I agree, looking back, mental health issues in the family as a child. Yeah. Linda says, if there's narcissism in a family, how do you grow up knowing what's normal? Well, when you're interacting with people outside of the family, and usually when you're outside of that environment and you're seeing, oh, everybody doesn't, do this or everybody doesn't do that. So I guess, when we're going to school and we're seeing how other people are interacting and we're observing outsiders, like when we're away from the family, those are the times where we can actually see how other people are doing things, and children compare a lot. So Morton says, I found out he isn't a narc but a psychopath. Well, all psychopaths are narcissists. They're just a higher degree of it, okay? Left him 6 months ago. I stopped trauma bonding once and for all. He called me his ex, and I made it true as I walked out the door. Well, good for you. Good for you. Just Be Real says, get around normal people. Yeah, that word normal, is very objective. I'm going to say that. Um, I use the word healthy more than I'll say normal, healthy, non-toxic. Yes, Morton says, learn to be mindful. Yes, very mindful. Crystal says, thank you so much. I would be lost without all the information I've gained. Yeah. Emotional maturity, they should teach that in school. But, I have my own thoughts about the school systems and what they're really trying to teach people. So, Triste says, I felt and knew there was some strange people in the world. Well, they're beyond strange. Just didn't know truly about narcs till being in this crazy demonic relationship. Almost 2 years now. I lost my father in February by the hands of a narcissist. He was murdered. But yeah, a lot of people are baffled and still have a hard time wrapping their mind around the nature, the disposition of narcissists. Morton says, yes, I know, but he is dangerous. He didn't give a hoot about his looks or what I thought of him. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you be careful. I be very careful. Very careful. Linda says, yes, thank you. This is very This has been very hard to deal with. This alone. I'm glad I found you. Yeah. And you guys, I have over 300 videos on the channel to help you through the healing process. I did put them into playlists to help you be able to, you know, jump around and find things a little easier. Okay? I have videos on, for those of you in, you know, trying to heal, I have videos on trust, my thoughts on trust. I believe I made a 3-part series for that. I have a 3-part series on anger. You know, I hit a lot of topics. I have, if you've had panic attacks, I have a video on that. You know, I have, it's over 300 videos, so there's a lot of topics, you know, and that you guys can find here to help you. All right. With that being said, and being as though I have like mountains of work to do, guys, I really have a lot of work to do. And I almost lost sight of that being on this live chat, because I didn't mean to really come on this long. But I have work to do, guys. I really do. I have at least one more thing that I have to do before I can shut my eyes tonight. So I'm going to get off of this live chat. Oh, well, I hope you feel better. You know what? I didn't go on the Facebook group chat to see your response. Did you drink the pineapple juice, Dancer? I'm telling you guys, if you get a cold, drink as much pineapple juice as you can. And I'm telling you, the next day you're going to be feeling amazing. It's a natural way to just knock a cold right out of your system. I'm telling you. Tracy says, thank you. Have a blessed, productive, prosperous night. I certainly will. Oh my gosh, you are not drunk from the pineapple juice. Did you add Grey Goose to it, Missy? Did you do that? Maybe that's why. All right, guys, I'm going to get off of here and visit my website. Visit my website, guys. It's LakiaCrawford.com. I have narc gear on there, anti-narc gear. No narc zone. I designed some shirts and they're really cool. And you can check it out. Everything that I do is on there. The books, you can schedule coaching for yourself through there as well now. So check it out. And you can just learn more about me as well. So if you're interested. All right. Well, thank you for showing love. Just be real. And you guys enjoy your weekend. I usually upload videos over the weekend, so I might have 2 videos coming to you guys. So hit the bell so you'll be notified if you haven't, all right? And until next time, guys, take care.